I believe you're the most qualified onion cutter we've had.
Well. Do we have Guinness here? Because someone's going for the slowest onion cutting. I reckon I've cut 4 onions in my entire life. You know me, we started comedy together, like 2008.
Yes.
And I remember you telling me about cooking meals, and I was like, what are you doing that for, man? You can make toasties. And I've only gotten into cooking since my kids were born. I've got a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. And I haven't really been introduced to onions, so we haven't had to do it.
I don't think you said any of those things about the toasties. I think you used a lot of words that we can't use anymore.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, there were some real 2008 phrases, and in terms of, I won't say now on the internet. I'm not a fucking idiot. But have a guess. Think about what used to be hilarious and now is not. And that's what I said to Tommy about cooking. Now, not only have I only cut 4 onions in my life, I've also got shaky hands. I've got a copper imbalance. So I don't know what the insurance is like for this YouTube series.
Not good.
Not good, all right.
Well, it's me. I'm just going to have to pay you out if you chop a finger off.
Last question.
Yes.
Is this an onion?
That is an onion.
All right.
I guarantee that's an onion. I have a question about your shaky hands.
Yeah.
So...
It's not alcoholism. I don't know what my wife told you, or the police, but...
Well, I remember back in the day, you told me it was a condition called a benign essential tremor.
Benign essential tremor. That's what I got told. I'm watching you, by the way.
But the thing about benign things is they don't happen.
Whoa, all right, Dr. Little. When the fuck did this happen?
But I'm just saying...
Benign doesn't mean it hasn't happened.
But if a tumour is benign...
Fuck, I didn't cut that deep enough. I'm genuinely concerned. Yeah.
Just cut it in half. You don't need to get skin off.
Fuck, that was... Whoa. These are sharper than the Fisher Paykel ones I'm allowed to use in the kitchen.
Hey, are you getting kickbacks for that mention? But I thought, so if a tumour is benign...
That fell apart, is that all right? Do you cut that bit up in the...
That's fine. It's just going to a bear sanctuary anyway, so it's fine.
What? Where's it going?
All the leftover onions go to a bear sanctuary. They're used in their cooking for them. It was going to be it was a dog rescue shelter, and then we got informed after we dropped 4 kilos of onions there that onions aren't good for dogs.
Yeah, it happened to me with my Nick's Melted Chocolate show. I go, loves chocolate, puppies, and I dropped heaps off, and they were none too pleased. That's too wide, isn't it? Fuck.
It doesn't matter.
I wouldn't even get a run helping at a bunning. I wouldn't even get a run helping at a school fete on a barbecue.
Which I reckon you're doing what my dad used to do back in the day.
No.
Which is cook one night a week, and then it'd be dog shit, and he'd wink at me and go, if you're really bad at the job, you don't get it again.
No, there's an actual... I'm trying to remember the term for that, because it's the term... I say, I do all the washing. No, I do all the washing and a bunch of cleaning at home. I love it. Love doing the washing, love doing the folding. But my wife we'll just throw in like my nicest shirt and a dirty boot into the washing machine and go, what happened there? You go, you fucking know you did that on purpose. You just don't want to...
What happened? I accidentally put the NutriBullet in there. Oh, how? How?
She does so little washing that to annoy me, she walks past the laundry and I'll go, Nick, and I run in and she goes, what is in there? And I'm like, you fucking winding me up.
But so, back to benign.
I'm mincing this.
Minced
onions is a thing though.
That is the thing. If only there was a version of MasterChef called Munted Chef.
And I'm sober. This is me sober. How about that?
Hey,
maybe it's the opposite. Maybe I should get maggot and then I'll back myself.
Does that calm your tremor when you get drunk?
A couple of drinks in. And the person that told me about the condition, the doctor, said when you're a bit older, a couple of drinks will calm it down. I was 15. That's fucking Hoppers Crossing bulk billing for you. Sure, you could go to a specialist or just fucking crack a few cans, son. Relax.
You know what's good for this? A smoking shard. I don't know if you've tried it. And you don't need to buy stuff, just steal it. That's how you get the good clothes. But doesn't benign mean not? Like when a tumour is benign, It's not cancerous.
Yeah.
So don't you just have an essential tremor, not a benign essential tremor? Because if it was
about what you've seen so far would you say is essential? There's nothing essential about this fucking tremor.
Oh, Nick, you've got an essential tremor.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
When do I need it? When I'm wanking so I don't have to move my hand?
Yeah. All these idiots putting their shoulders and elbows out, fucking rookies.
All your mates are like, Nick, can you just hold it for me?
Yeah. Or during the few earthquakes in Melbourne, I'm just walking through with a cup of tea down the hallway, go, whoa, whoa, whoa. Look whose time to shine it is.
No spill Nick's back again. Didn't your parents used to make fun of your tremor?
They did. They still do. Mum and Dad, classics. I don't know what I'm doing here. I've really started. How am I going?
Yeah, good.
I like a mix of sizes. You know what I mean? You've got them all one size. People are going to be bored of those onions pretty quick. Whereas if you eat my onion dish, fuck, that was a quarter of an onion.
Oh God! One mouthful, I got no onion. The next mouthful, I got a whole onion.
So much onion.
It's unbelievably unpredictable to eat, and it's really kept me on my toes.
You could almost put this onion back together. That's how little cuts.
You know what? That'd be a puzzle, but for a 4-year-old. You know when there's like 12 pieces, and they're like, oh God, it's the legs of a bird and the head of a bird.
They're all getting better after this, surely. Here we go.
Do your parents still make fun of your tremor?
Yeah, they do. What they used to do, though, was they would ask me to make them a cup of coffee each, and then they'd sit on their bed at the end of the hallway and watch me come down the hallway shaking with the cups, and they'd take bets on who would end up with more coffee in their cup by the time I made it to their room.
It's good morale boosting stuff like that.
It is.
And of course,
I've turned out great.
Not to mention the 3rd-degree burns on both their hands. They just check which hand's more burnt for who's the winner. What was growing...
How'd you get so good at this, man? No wonder you did this show.
I just don't have an essential tremor. Apparently it's not as essential.
I'm going to be honest with you. When you gave me the call about it, I did say to my wife, Luch, I'm not sure I can do this. And she's like, he's cutting onions. And I said, yeah.
As in like, that's it?
Yeah. She's like, you thought you could go on SAS Australia. Yeah, but they're not cutting onions on there. So.
That is a new challenge on SAS Australia.
Oh, I'm fucked. And I don't like heights or being yelled at.
I would love if you just entered, you know, with those like sushi chefs, how they have to train for like 3 years before they're even allowed to cut something.
Yeah.
You get through the first 3 years of cleaning up fish cuts off the floor and they hand you a knife and you're like, oh shit, I've wasted the last 3 years.
You know how Jiro dreams of sushi?
Yes.
Jiro has nightmares about me helping. Yeah. I reckon he gives me this sick bit of salmon and I go, fuck, sorry man. Can we...
So all you've got to do is cut the eyeball out? You've stabbed this poor salmon 47 times.
Oh.
What was your first job?
First ever job, I worked at Harris Scarf at Werribee Plaza.
Harris Scarf is clothes?
Harris Scarf is shit Maya. Harris Scarf is Aldi Maya.
Yeah. Okay.
But Harris Scarf over at Werribee Plaza, my mate Nick Novak, shout out Nick Novak, he was putting in a job application, and so we were 15 and 9 months, whatever the minimum age requirement is. And on the resume, he said, "Bro, you've got to put down that we're chess captains." And I said, "Why do we have to put down that we're chess captains?" And he goes, "Because companies love fucking nerds, bro, and we'll get the gig." It was a $6.25 an hour job at Harris Scarf. I know they didn't need a grandmaster. I was folding towels.
If anything, they're thinking, that's the 42nd chess captain we've had apply this month. What is it about? Are we doing some kind of cross promo in the chess clubs?
Yeah, that was the first job.
Did you get fired from that?
No, I quit, and before you fire me, I'm going to quit. I was playing gridiron and footy, and I had gridiron training one day, and they said I could get out early. It was like state training, And
You say state training like there was.
State of Victoria, that's who I played for. That's who I represented.
It's like you saying that like there was more than 15 kids in the state of Victoria playing gridiron.
Playing gridiron in 2002. Yeah. It was when a bloke that looked like this could be a running back. Think back.
It's also, I mean, now that we mention it, you could have also been the chess captain.
Yeah, there was more. Yeah, that is true. Hoppers Crossing chess captain. Low bar, I reckon.
The Western Suburbs chess captain. Well, did he win? No, he knocked him out.
Oh, fuck, that was close. I was getting a bit cocky. I thought I've fucked up 3 onions so far. Let's go faster. Oh, Jesus.
Also, don't cut yourself.
Oh,
I hate.
Thanks, man.
I hate to say it.
I'd forgotten that.
But it's not worth it for this.
Yeah, I know. As you know what? I've actually got. Have a look. I've got a scar in my hand there from when I was about 8. I froze an orange in the freezer. Yeah. To see what frozen orange, and I thought maybe this will be like
see what happened.
Maybe this will be like nature's super duper or something. And I pulled it out, and I tried to cut it in half, but dickhead Cody held it in his hand, cut through, the knife slipped, and I just stabbed myself in the hand, and classic like scream out. And what would this have been? 95. My dad just on the couch going, "You all right, mate?" And just walk out with a knife in your hand. He's like, fuck.
Don't
tell mum.
Yeah, you'll be right. You'll be right.
Don't tell mum.
That's the type
she'll always think my hand's been bandaged.
I don't think younger people don't understand that we never went to the doctors or anything until it was 2 days. And if it's still bad after 2 days, then you go. It's like this festering wound is still bleeding. I guess we better take him to the doctors.
Yeah, you can't to try and see I've got 2 little kids and they're always bringing some sort of shit home. And you can't see a GP now. Like
what
GPs that use like it's a fucking wait to see a doctor. Like it takes a while. You've got to book ahead. I thought the whole point was you just open, you bring a fucking kid down.
Is that why everyone goes?
Hopefully he's still got the flu next Thursday. Thanks, mate. You know.
He's not sick yet, but we've scheduled it in for 2 weeks' time.
But imagine like 7 years of medical school to become a GP, and you're an absolute weapon, and you've made your whole family proud. And it's like, what do you do at work? Oh, I give out prescriptions for vapes. You go, fuck. That was sorted already.
Yeah.
Dodgy milk bars and GPs are the same.
Yeah, absolutely. I never understand. You know how there's always a vape
See,
ban?
this is what you're doing. You're wasting all your time cutting it into small bits as you go. I'm just doing big chunks and then I'll fucking sort it at the end.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Are you going to go through and finally dice all that stuff at the end?
Go through. I'm going to 2-hand Last Samurai, just yeah.
Yeah, you know how there's always a vape ban? But nothing changes. The only reason I hear about it is because every now and then one of my idiot mates goes, "Don't worry, I bought up 20." And I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "They're banning them."
Yeah.
And then nothing changes.
Yeah.
And then 6 months later he goes, "Don't worry, I bought up 20."
Oh, do you think it's Big Vape trying to get us to buy in bulk?
Yeah, Big Vape is sending out the message. Oi, it's going to be banned soon. Better buy up them I get bars. We're just focusing on mango this ban.
I'm starting to see why I don't cut onions. This is fucked, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It really gets you.
No, I haven't even done many.
Hey, you mentioned your kids.
Yeah.
I know this is an earnest question, but I'm genuinely interested because I would like to know what I hope to have kids one day.
Yeah.
What did you feel?
If you could just meet a woman.
Okay.
Can someone help this guy out?
Okay,
Finally, he's on a visual medium. He's a good-looking lad.
Yeah.
He's doing well.
Okay.
I know you've just heard him on radio all these years thinking, it sounds like an absolute minger on the other end of this fucking thing. Who's this pig? Who's this fucking rotten bonce talking to me every afternoon? But you were wrong. He's a good-looking lad.
It's this pig. It's this piggy. What was the first moment that you held your son like?
Oh man, it was the best. Well, my firstborn, Charlie, I've got my favourite photo. I'd show it here, but it shows parts of my wife that are not for the internet.
They actually are for the internet. You just don't want them there. Like
Yeah,
the internet is
a different part of the internet.
Yeah.
A part of the internet I don't know exists. Yeah. And no, he was born. I caught him, handed him straight to my wife, and I've got this photo. She's on her back, and he's on her chest, and they're both just like mouth open. He's crying because what the fuck's happening, and she's just like bliss, like eyes closed, mouth open, the happiest thing. It was very nice.
And did that make you shit tears at the time?
Yeah, I was a fucking blubbering mess. I was a blubbering mess the whole time.
Did you say anything? My friend once told me, he said, man, if you have a kid, watch every word you say while she's giving birth, because if you just slightly misstep, she will remember that forever. And what he said was, and he's still reminded to this day, is after like 8 hours of labour or something, he said to the nurse, excuse me, could you grab us a chair? My feet are a bit sore.
Oh, yeah, you can't say any of that stuff within earshot.
I am going through hell here.
Yeah.
Did you misstep with anything you said?
No, you don't say it in front of them. You go outside and go, how long is this fucking thing going to go on for? Jesus Christ, has been pushing and crying and screaming. I got the car in a 15-minute spot. I'm going to get a fucking fine. I can't have this. I don't want to blame the kid for this. He's not even out yet. He doesn't even have a name. And I'm yelling at him over parking.
Thing, these fines are racking up.
Oi, unnamed fuckhead, get out. I'm going to get towed.
Oi, future chess captain.
Yeah. Don't see you walking home. Hit the fucking bricks. Get out of here. No, but it was a good time. My wife was very up and about. She's a fucking weapon, you know her.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
Fit as a fiddle. We're very lucky. She's strong as an ox.
Do women like that?
Huh?
Do women like being called strong as an ox?
Don't know. She's fucking strong. I remember the second one. She pushed him out so quick. It was like 4 o'clock. This is the mistake I made. I didn't say it on the day of the birth, but about 2 weeks before, beautiful wife, Luch, having a shower. She slipped in the shower. This was a Friday night, about 8 o'clock. I just heard a thud, and I'm like, oh, God. And she came out, and I was sitting in the lounge room, and I said, are you all right? She said, we've got to go to hospital. I slipped in the shower, but I turned last minute, landed on my back, not on my belly. I was like, smart move. And she said, but we're going to go to hospital. I just want to scan. I'm sure everything's fine. And I said, are we going right now? And she said, no, I'll just get ready. I'll get an overnight bag. Just wait. And she walked out of the room and she said, the way you said, do we have to go right now? Why did you say it like that? And I said, because I just ordered Uber Eats. I'm going to be honest with you, mate. The Thai food's about 15 away.
Look, no,
I'm happy I'll go right now. But if not, 20. I need 20. You've got to pick one. It's now. I'll carry you into the car right now. We'll be at the hospital by the time my delicious food arrives, or I'm going to need 20. A or B. Choose your own adventure.
You are my first priority. But have you had Chatsy you?
Yeah. Speaking of priority, it's priority order. That's why it's getting here at 15. So
I don't want to waste that extra $5 on nothing.
But the second kid, second baby, Maxie, he was born that week in between lockdowns in 2021, and we went into the hospital. I still remember because he was like 2 weeks overdue, and the day it was a Sunday, Luch was walking around going, this could be the day. And I'm like, I'm ready to go at any time. You just let me know. And she's like, again, you've said, you just let me know what's happening. Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier 3, babe. I'm just in the office. I'm ready to go at any time. And then McGregor snapped his leg. I'm like, fuck.
Let's go.
You want to see pain? Have a look at this bloke. He's on the green whistle in there. He's having a mare.
You're not even against anyone.
Yeah. This is you versus you. It's all a mental game, if anything. He's actually hurt.
Babe, there's no one else in the octagon. Well, there will be by the end of it, but right now.
So I went to bed that night, nothing was happening, and about 2 in the morning, it was like, we're going right now. It's like, yeah, bang, hop in the car, drove fucking Fast and Furious style to the women's.
You did?
Yeah.
The man who didn't get his license till like 30.
Hey, 31. And if you're going to insult me, fucking get it correct, please. I got my license at 31. I didn't have my license. I used to ride a bike everywhere. And then when my wife got pregnant with our firstborn, she's such a chilled operator, but she said, we're not getting an Uber to the hospital, fuckhead. And I thought, that's fair. And so I got the license.
You're asking the Uber Eats driver to give you a lift back?
Mate, I'll give you 6 stars.
You can.
I'm going to need some of those napkins, though.
You ever heard of
an issue in the
double
back.
income?
Do you want to house sit for a bit? And I'll take the bike.
So you're driving.
So we rush.
Slow and furious style.
Slow and furious. And I was banging. I was pushing the Subi.
Oh yeah.
And we got there, and I reckon within 40 minutes, Luch had given birth. I was walking around the. We didn't even get into the actual. We were like in the pre-birth suite, and she was walking around feeding our baby on her breast on the phone to her parents, and I was just sitting on a couch in the room holding a coffee, and a doctor walked in and said, "Oh, did you give birth, fuckhead?" Brutal. Again, public hospital. I don't pay fucking tax dollars to get insulted. Thank you very much.
Apparently you do.
Yeah. Oh, fuck ya. I needed to challenge myself with this and not be able to see. I was chopping them too precisely and too quickly. Whoa, there we go.
Oh.
Yep, you were saying?
Has being a dad, have you become more nervous about life? I just know a lot of people say, like, you know, I'll ask them, like going flying with me is a great example.
Oh, I wouldn't have done that if I had no kids. I wouldn't fly with you if I had terminal cancer and I was dying tomorrow. Just give me the last 24 hours to enjoy, please.
Are you saying that from your heart? Do you believe that? You'd go flying with me.
Oh, man. You know what? I'd love to go flying with you, and I think you're a great pilot. If something went wrong, even if it's not your fault, just my wife being able to tell my kids every day, I fucking told him. I don't want to lose forever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yes, there are little things. Sometimes, like if I am on a flight and you hit a big bit of turbulence or whatever, and you go, "Fuck, I'm not going to see my kids again because I'm doing a fucking stupid gig in Canberra." I'll get annoyed about something like that, and then it immediately stops, and I go, "Should have relaxed." Yeah, you think a bit more about life. You want to make sure you're around for a good amount of time. I don't want to be around to the point where I'm annoying them.
What do you think, in terms of weighing them up, do you think you have more moments where you're like, I want to be around for my kids and so I don't want to die right now?
Yeah.
Or more moments where you're like, I'm so exhausted, I want to kill myself?
Man, I know that fear. I don't get hangry. My wife gets very hangry.
Yes.
I get the tired.
Horny angry.
Horny angry.
Fuck me now!
I get the tired equivalent. Like, I get told to go and have a nap by my wife.
Yeah,
she'll tell the three of us. A 37-year-old, a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old to go and have a nap. Because of Brecky Radio and then gigs at night, and I start talking in absolutes. Fuck this, I'm going to tell them to fuck off. They can, I've had enough of this shit and I'm just cracking it. She's like, go and have a lie down.
Yeah.
Have a lie down in a race car bed, I'd come back all happy. But, no, it makes me, you just want to be around. I've also seen every episode of Intervention. I'm a big fan of some weird TV shows.
What's Intervention?
Intervention's the one where they intervene on a drug user who doesn't know they're about to get intervened on.
What, they walk in, there's a camera crew there?
They'll follow them around saying they're doing a documentary on drug use, and there's like 86 seasons, and the drug users are so locked in, they haven't even heard, like intervention hasn't made it to them. So they're like, follow me, you know,
and like finally,
day in the life of,
and like, yeah, finally,
I've made it.
Someone's finally decided to do a series on Kyle.
Yeah, it's sad MTV Cribs, and every episode you see someone in the worst spot in life. And it's rare that it starts with, and everything went great with my family. You know what I mean? So if I die now, I'm like, fuck, could they be on intervention?
Yeah, yeah. You know, did you know they asked me to do MTV Cribs?
Bullshit.
This is not a word of a lie.
When? It was out in 2001.
They asked me, no, they did an Australian one, and they asked me to be on it. And Lozzie Phillips, a guest on another episode, she was living with me at the time, and I was sleeping on a mattress on the floor.
Sick. You're like Redman's episode. You know Redman?
Yeah.
I think Redman had like an apartment in Staten Island or something. So every other one, it's like Shaq's mansion, the bed's in the Superman logo. It's the biggest bed on the planet. And Redman just had pornos and Xbox games on the floor. Like, come in. You were our Redman.
There was some English pop star that did it as well. I can't remember what it was, but you know.
No, this is what you didn't know. You were on intervention. We want to do Cribs, dog. And you're like, sick. Have a look. The bed's on the floor.
It's a mattress on the floor. It's humble, but it'll do.
Why is there a counsellor in here to tell me about how I'm killing mice?
Guys, enough in that room. Come into the grow room.
Yeah.
There was this English pop star on it, and she just had a normal English house, which is the grimmest things ever. And so I was used to, again, seeing mansions and pools, and then she's like, you know, the washing machine's in the kitchen, isn't it? the toilet's got carpet. That's nice, isn't it? Why the fuck in England do they have carpeted bathrooms?
Yeah. Do they all sit down to piss? What's happening over there?
Spissers.
Spissers.
I'm a spisser.
Yeah, I'm a in the middle of the night, early morning spisser.
I thought you were going to say I'm in the middle, like I'm a hover. I'm not quite spissing, I'm not quite standing. I'm just...
Yeah, I'm doing like a wall squat.
I'm lurking. Bo, I saw your stuff for the UFC recently over in Abu Dhabi, and I texted you about it at the time, but it was excellent.
Thank you.
Was that all your dreams come true?
I'm a big UFC fan. Nuffy, they would say.
Yes.
And I had an opportunity to do some stuff for the UFC maybe 5 years ago. Interviewed an Aussie fighter, Alex Volkanovski, who's the Aussie greatest of all time. He was ex-featherweight champ. And we did a thing for a UFC pay-per-view that got shown around the world. And then COVID hit, didn't do anything. And for some reason, I've just turned something I've liked into another job. So that's what I like. So when my wife's like, what do you mean you're going to Abu Dhabi for the UFC? I go, I think you'll find it's work. You know?
Wait,
that's what I do with my hobbies.
Have you ever been tempted to have a fight?
Oh, I'm saying no, but I haven't had 8 Guinness yet. You know? A few pints in and I'm shadow boxing in the pub. You know, who knows? I could be champ.
Yeah.
That's what the world needs, a 37-year-old having his first fight.
Oh.
Again, that's what I think I'd love to do it. But if I die, again, my wife's just got the rest of her life and our son's lives going. I told him.
But I've resigned to it. I know I'm going to have a comedy death. I feel like I'm going to fall down a manhole that doesn't have the cover on it.
And you'll just cop that?
Yeah, absolutely.
More happy tears at the funeral than sad tears?
If you had to, so if it wasn't against a person, if you had to fight an animal in it.
You know what, this is almost like an infomercial. You know when someone's like, are you having trouble with onions? And they show a guy. I'm actually that. I'm the B-roll for a fucking infomercial.
There's always a before.
For a knife that's got like bumpers on it, like bumper bowling.
There's always a before and after, and you're the before.
Yeah, I'm the before. Jesus.
And then they go, look at this. He took this one pill, and look at him now. It's just a completely different bloke, just sitting there chopping onions amazingly.
This is looking more like cabbage, which I'm worried about. Like for a second there, I was like, who chucked the lettuce in?
Oh, I didn't even ask you. When was the last time you cried?
Oh man, it would have been not not too long ago. It would have been like my 3-year-old made me something at Kinder. You know? Like Father's Day, I'm the fucking biggest mess. Like my 6-year-old this year drew a card and like for a laugh, it literally drew me like doing a poo or something. Daddy is a poo. Because he knows I'll just cry if he makes me something. And I'll just sob, I don't know.
So you're sobbing, nice. Go, Daddy is a poo?
Daddy's a poo.
Daddy is a poo.
He can spell poo, he can draw poo.
It's a genius.
Future chess champion. No, I'm a fucking big softie when it comes to that stuff.
So aside from your kids, what's the other thing that gets you in tears?
Oh man, what'll get me?
When's the last time you cried from pain?
From pain?
Yeah. Have you cried from pain as an adult?
No, I don't think I've. Mental anguish, yeah, but who hasn't? Physical pain, I don't think I've done myself enough mischief. That's why I'm here today.
Have you never broken?
You give an old shaky hands. Yeah, I've broken stuff, but all when I was a kid. A couple of knee injuries, knocked out a bunch, broken arm, dislocated fingers from footy, but not as an adult. I'm not stacking. You know, I did roll an ankle maybe a couple of years ago, just running around playing footy at a park with a mate, and came down and heard a pretty big crack, but it wasn't a. Again, I don't think I cried. I was more frustrated. Like, fuck. It's just annoying. Yeah. Because I know then I can't help out at home.
Yeah.
And that's all I've got.
So you did it deliberately.
That's all I'm good for. Yeah. I threw myself down a ravine.
This is your version of throwing a boot in the washing machine.
Yeah, exactly. Hit it with a rock harder.
Yeah.
No, cry from pain. Not really. I'm big if there's soft shit in movies. I'll cry at that.
Why do movies on a plane get you so much more?
Because I'm maggot. What do you mean soon we're going to be landing in Dubai? Fucking hell. It's actually happening, guys. The pilot said it was going to happen. Now it's going to happen. No, I don't know why. I think it's that thing. You know, you hear people say if you're a little bit nervous of flying already, you're emotionally a little bit more charged.
A heightened arousal.
Yes, heightened arousal.
The last time I saw you cry on air,
yep,
was something very. It made me cry, to be honest, because you don't often, when you're broadcasting, you don't often see the emotional side of you.
Yeah, well, I'll try and keep it fun.
Yeah,
you know.
Did you?
Old dickhead Cody.
When you expose the other side of yourself, often the first thing you think is, I wish I hadn't done that. How did you feel afterwards? Like when you shared something that was very much earnest and a family tragedy.
Yep.
How did you feel immediately after you shared that?
Well, it'll probably happen here. So my this is the onions, by the way.
Yeah, I know, they get you.
That's why I welt from the onions. No, a couple of years ago, my father-in-law, Lindsay, got hit and killed by a car while cycling. And I tried to talk about it on radio. I didn't talk about it for like a year. I just couldn't talk about it. And much like now, it's the same thing happens. He was 75, fit as a fiddle, literally like 500k a week on a bike up and down Mount Macedon. And it was a Sunday afternoon, and my wife and her mum and her sisters were at a housewarming for my sister-in-law. And her dad never turned up, and he'd never missed anything. Her parents had been married for close to 50 years. And he hadn't made it home. Him and his mates had rode as a group up and down Mount Macedon. They got to a certain point, and his mates all put their bikes in the car to drive home. And he had a race coming up because he's a fucking lunatic. I love him. He's like doctor of economics, super smart, the sweetest dude, but just a maniac.
Go.
Go. Like did the Giro d'Italia trail at like 70 odd, you know. He was on the way back home to his house in Gisborne and got hit from behind by a 19-year-old girl who was going to her first day of a new job. He was in the he was not on the road. He was off. He wasn't on the road. He was to the side. All the gear on. You know, correct gear, lights, everything. Perfect day.
Doing all the right things.
All the right things. The 6 cars in front of that girl and the 6 cars behind were all like, we could see. You know, she just wasn't paying attention, and that at the time, see my wife get that call is like the worst thing I've ever seen was see her get that call, and they went to court, and my wife and her family read victim impact statements to get the girl, just to tell her what had happened and the ramifications of it, but didn't want her to go to jail. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. My family would want everyone dead. My wife's family are so good. They didn't want her to go to jail. She didn't end up going to jail. But just like she didn't pay attention for like 3 seconds, and the ramifications of that. Man, still to this day, I like being home more. I still ride a bike to work for Brekkie Radio. I ride a bike most mornings, and it's fucking terrifying. Like had to see a psychologist about it, because the first maybe 5 or 10 rides, you get to a certain point near my place where a few lanes converge. So you've got cars and trucks 4:45 in the morning coming past, and I just felt like legs would empty. There'd be no energy. It felt like bricks. And it's that thing I don't think people realise if they're using their phone or something. You might think, oh, I've hit someone, this happens, and it's sad, it'd be sad for a certain amount of time, but man, it's like 2 and a bit years ago, and it's still every day there's shit stuff that comes up from it.
I can also imagine.
Oh no.
No, you're right. I can also imagine any of those.
Man, that's the problem. I try and talk about it, and then I fucking fall apart every time. You know?
I think that's fine, bro. Well, it's a fucking tragedy.
Yeah.
I also think it makes any of those moments that are meant to just be pure happiness, they're always tinged with sadness, because you start thinking, so if it's one of your boys' birthdays, you start thinking, you're like, how good is it? You've turned 4, and then you're like, fuck, I wish this person was here. Yeah.
And then my youngest won't remember his day, which sucks. My oldest does, and misses him all the time and gets annoyed because if I'm driving and I see someone on the phone, or if I'm on the bike and I see someone on the phone, I have a bit of what they call road rage. Justified, I think. It'd stand up pretty quick and nice, knock on the window. But I don't think people realise, like, just a fleeting few moments, what that can do to someone.
I also think it's
this is what happened when I tried to sound on. I thought after a year, I go, I'll be able to get the point across in a nice way and keep it together. But it's just, man, the day of the call, it's the worst thing I've ever seen. And I'd hate for, it happens to people every day.
I don't think sometimes people get that idea that like it's shit for a year and it goes away. Because your life goes on. Yeah. All the shit that person misses. Yeah. That becomes bigger and bigger. Yeah. And so in a weird way, even though that initial, you might never feel that gut-wrenching pain of when it happens again, but it's like kind of sadder. Yeah. Because if the world ended a day later, but if the world ended a day later, you're like, oh, well, they didn't miss that much. Yeah. But because life keeps going on and there's all these things you would love to show him and be proud of.
And that's what it's made me give less of a fuck across many things in life. Yeah. I missed out. Touring was my favourite thing. Of course, the next year I just wanted to stay home and help out more and, try and be as much of a support as I could. And I just say no to a bunch of things that I always would have said yes to and been excited about, but I just go, no, man, I just want to do fun shit and hang out with my kids and my wife.
Yeah.
Try and have a fun time.
It's pretty impressive that you ride a bike still.
Thanks, man. I am very fit, but I'm fit and strong. No, I remember Luch getting, annoyed at justifiably so. My wife being a bit worried, but I was like,
because the frame can hold up you.
Whoa, I'm under 100 kegs now, man.
Are you?
Yeah.
You do
for
not
the first time in years. Thank you very much. I'll take that as a compliment. I had a UFC fighter last week who was at the pub with us for the fights. He said, "There's no way you're 99, bro. You look way lighter than that." He's like, "There's no way you're 99," and I've brought it up to my wife maybe 15 times a day since. And she's like, the tone you're bringing it up is saying like, that UFC fighter thought I was cute. That's what she's been saying back, which is hurtful. Now, you know me, you always say, you've mentioned before that on air I never show that sort of side. So to make sure it ends on more of a Nick Cody note,
yes,
you'll appreciate this. I'm in shorts now. I wear t-shirt and shorts everywhere, never wear pants.
Yeah.
At my father-in-law's funeral, I was sitting next to my eldest son, Charlie, who, just as it was starting, looked down at my legs, saw I had pants on and said, "Are you doing a gig here?" Because he only thinks I wear pants for gigs. And I was like, man, the fact that you think I can fucking turn this day around with some jokes,
I'll get 'em back.
That means everything.
I'll get them back.
Yeah. Watch Dad go to work. All right, I've got a second-hand Subaru Forester. Who wants to hear about it?
What do you do for a living? What do you do for a living?
Oh man, I really appreciate you having me on, mate. Sorry about this.
That's right. The bears don't mind.
Well, I think they actually will. I think this might be the first time they're going to get this and go, "I wish I was in Russia, nailed to a unicycle to do tricks."
These guys
this
don't
is
even.
no good.
These guys don't even let me dance. People can catch up on your podcast, Mid-Fight Brawl.
Yes.
Are you touring?
No. We.
Good to go out on a high.